This video is brought to you in collaboration with Gillid Solutions. They designs and manufactures CPU and VGA colors like thermal paste, thermal pads, and heat bases, and other PC accessories and other equipment. They have many products to choose from for your next PC build. The company also supplies a range of products for international OEM and ODM clients. Check out their website in www.gillidsolutions.com. On this video, it will show you step by step on how to disassemble, how to remove and change the fans, and the part number of the fans, the thickness of the thermal pads, and how to repaste. If you haven't subscribed on this channel, please hit that subscribe button to support this channel so that I can make more tutorial videos like this one. Thank you. And also check the description down below for the information and all the links if you're interested to buy this product and all the tools and equipment I've used in this video. Disclaimer: using these links provided will give me a very small amount of commission from the seller that could help my channel grow, but it will not gonna have additional cost to you. This GPU is almost new, as you can see. So the screw seal is still intact. So that means all the thermal paste and thermal pads you will see is still the stock from the factory. These are the three options. The first options, if you just want to replace the fan or just clean the back area of the fan or to clean the heatsink, the front area of the heatsink, all you're going to do is remove the 15 screw here in the front. You don't need to touch the back area. This area here have 5 screw, and same with the other 2 fans. Each fan have 3 screw and 6 screw that is hold the front shroud. So 5 is 15 in total. That is the first option. The second option is if you want to replace the thermal pads and thermal paste, you don't need to unscrew to do that first option. All you're going to do is just to unscrew 10 screw here at the back. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And the third option is if you want to do the whole thing. So change the thermal pads, thermal paste, and clean overall of the GPU. You have to do the first and the second option. Okay, so we do the first option. If you just want to replace the fan or clean the back area of the fan, just remove 15 screw. 5 here, 5, and 5 here. So the screw bits that I'm going to use is the Phillips screw VH1 and also Phillips screw VH0. So, and the screwdriver that I'm going to use is the wow stick screwdriver, which is powered by battery. So first, the 15 screw here in the front, the screw bits that I'm going to use is the VH1, which is a bit bigger than the VH0. 3 screw here attached to the fan, 3, and 6 screw that is holding the front shroud, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So I'm going to remove first the 6 screw, which is that holds the front shroud. So don't mix up this 15 screw, because the one that holds the 6 screw that holds the front shroud is a bit bigger compared to the one that holds the fans, but they are the same screw bits that I'm going to use. So make sure your screw bits is magnetic. If you got this demagnetizer and magnetizer. So you have to rub that one to make it magnetize. So you have to separate this screw that holds the front shroud. The 6 screw that holds the front shroud is already unscrewed, so I can't remove this front shroud if I want to, but I will not gonna do that yet because I need to remove the fans as well. The front shroud, be careful, before you're going to remove the front shroud you need to detach the 4 connector of the fans and the LED connector. So there's two connector for the LED, and the one at the bottom there's 2 connector for the 3 fans. So before I do that, I'm going to remove the fan as well. This screwdriver, especially this brand, the Wow Stick, I had this for a few years now, and this is highly recommended because the battery, it really holds long. How many times I'm going to use, it takes too long to drain the battery. And by the way, I also recommend to get one of these that I'm going to use. It's a light. It's the one, this portable light that you can attach in your forehead. It's very, very useful. So this one, this is powered by a lithium battery, and it's so bright. There's a lot of option. See, this particular brand is Blue Car, but it's a lot of different kind of brand that is similar. So I will just put the link in the description below if you're interested in one of these. If you want to buy any tools or like thermal pad, thermal paste, just check in my description down below, and please use the link so that I could get some commission, but it will not gonna add more money to you. So exactly the same price that you're going to pay like a usual in the Amazon, but by using the link, that could help my channel a lot, so that I could make more tutorial videos in the future. This fan is already been screwed, so and by the way, 2 more video cards that I'm going to do after this card. I have 2 more 6750 XT AMD that I'm going to do after this one, so please could you watch out that video that will come out. Maybe I will gonna do another video next week and the following week as well. So this is the only tricky one, the fan, because there's not much space here in between the blades. And be careful doing this, because make sure you're not gonna damage the blades. Okay, so all the 15 screw that is attached to the fans and the front shroud is already removed. So before, be careful, don't lift this up yet. All you're going to do next is to detach this connector of the fan. There's 2 connector of the fans, and the other end, the top one, there's 2 connector that connects the LED light that drives this MSI logo, and this area here, there's a light strip in here, and also this one. So that is that small connector, the red and the black, is the one for the LED, and this bigger connector that is on the bottom area, the white and the black, is for the fans. So I highly recommend, if you're gonna get one of these, is already in the link in the description down below. It's called Lean Tool, like a plier, which is have a special kind of plier. It's very, very useful for removing like fan connector. And then also, if you got a tweezer as well, this kind of tweezer, it's bent a little bit, you need to get those. They are very, very cheap in Amazon. So first, I'm going to remove the connector of the fan. So always be careful, don't force it. If you struggle to remove it, never ever force it, because if the wire or you break one of the connector, that could cause you a lot of headache to replace them. Okay, so first I'm going to use the tweezer and lift this up, the connector. So take time, be patient and take time, because plastic, it can break easily. Right. If you struggle to use the tweezer, try the other one, the pliers. See, it's way easier because of this like bended end. This is the very useful one that could clip the both ends of the connector, and then you can just lift it up like this. See, so you can remove the connector safely just like that. So easy. But without the proper tools, it's more risky to get damaged. So always pay attention and be careful, don't force them. So this one I have to clear this, and also this one you have to, because this one holds the wire, so you have to bend that one a little bit to open it, and take off the wire from here. So always remember, or you can just take a photo from your phone so that you can remember when you put it back. So make sure it goes there. And then this one, that's it. And then you have to make sure it's clear. You have to lift this up a little bit to make it easier. Okay, so the two fan is linked together. The one, this one here, the white one, the white connector, this is connected with this middle and the one on my left fan, and this one, the black one, is just only for the on my right fan. So that is already clear. Wait, I have to clear this off, make sure. And also make sure, be gentle, make sure you're not gonna bend and damage the fins of the heatsink. Right, I need to get my, you need this one, the long nose pliers, so that you can use it for okay. So this is already clear. So next is to detach the connector of the LED. So be gentle of this one, because it is much smaller compared to the one which is for the fans connector. So the one on the LED connector is much smaller, so that could break, could damage easily. So I'm going to use a tweezer for this. So this one here, I hope you could see it. It's a bit, oh, this is the maximum of my zoom. I use this tweezer and be gentle, lift it up. I'll do the red one first. So that's what make it very handy if you have this like a bend one, not straight. And also sometimes you need those straight as well, so you need to buy a different kind of tweezer, the thin one, the thick one, so that you can have an option. It depends on the scenario. So this one, so I'll try this. Right, it's more easy. See, I remove now the red one, and now it's time for the black. Oop. So the black has also been removed. So now you can lift it up. So now you have access for the 3 fans if you need to replace them. So you can clean them inside, because you cannot clean them the inside part of the fan if you don't remove them. So you can clean it now, and also you can brush this side of the fence heatsink, or use an air blower, which is I have recommendation with an air blower. I'll show you that later. And that is the first option. But before that, I'm going to show you the part number of all the fans. So this is the part number of the fan, which is the farther right, the one with the single connector or the black connector. So this is the part number. And the other two. So this one is the one on the middle. So these two are linked together. So this is the part number of the one on the middle. And this is the part number of the one on the farther left. So let me check. Are they identical? Yeah, they are identical except for the connector, because these two is linked together. Or you can just buy even one of this fan, that's 2 fan that links together. If one of this fan is broken, you can just buy one of these, and then you have to do it yourself, like DIY. You have to link this two. You have to cut this off and link the wire, and then solder it with the soldering gun. You can do that yourself. So that is the first option. So I will put this one aside. So the second option is if you only need to change the thermal pads and the thermal paste and clean the inner part of the heatsink. You don't need to, if you don't need to take off the fans and clean this area here, anyway, you can just blow a dust in here and then that will be clean as well. If you want to just replace the fans, thermal pads and thermal paste, all you're going to do is you don't need to do the first option that you have to 15 screw unscrew the 15 screw here in the front. You don't need to touch that, the one in the front. All you're going to do is unscrew the 10 screw here at the back if you want to replace the thermal pads and change the thermal paste. So the 10 screw is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's all you're going to unscrew. So I'm going to so this is the VH1 screw bit is I've used in the front shroud, and for the back I will use the VH0 for this 4 screw here because it's a bit tiny, but the VH1 would fit on here, this screw, the rest of the screw. So I'll use this VH0 for this 4 screw here. So this 4 screw is permanently attached to this bracket, and then I'll change the bits to VH1. So I will unscrew the rest of the 6 screw. But this 6 screw here, so you have to pay attention because they are not of the same size and they are not the same form. These 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, they are identical screw, but these 2 is different, so don't mix them up. So this one I'll show you later. So this one here, this 4 here, this is what it look like. And then there's the other 2 here. I'll show you the other one so that you can compare it. Just like a long and normal screw. So if we compare it from these 2 here and then the rest of the 4 screw here, they are different. So don't mix them up. Okay. Right, so 10 screw has been removed here at the back. You can now do if you want to change the thermal pads and thermal paste. So detach the back plate, the PCB and the heatsink. So be careful, you have to do it carefully. And there we go. So you can access the pads and the thermal paste. And then, by the way, the back plate of this GPU is metal, so it can help dissipate the heat as well at the back part of the PCB. So if you want to clean the back area here and remove separate the back plate from the PCB so that you can clean the back area of the PCB, all you're going to unscrew is 7 screw, which is only accessible if you remove the heatsink from the PCB. You cannot access this 7 screw if the heatsink is still attached, because that screw is being covered by this heatsink. So 7 is 1, wait, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That is 7. You don't need to remove this 1 screw here because this one is the one who holds the bracket. So to remove this bracket here, you have to unscrew this one here and this 2 screw here. Hang on, wait. to screw the big screw here, and this 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 screw just to remove this metal bracket here. But you don't need to do that, because it doesn't make sense to include that one with your maintenance of this GPU. So right, so everything has been exposed. Okay, I'll show you first as well the back of the PCB. So we're going to unscrew the 7 screw. Oh, they are not identical screw. So maybe this 1, 2, 3, 4 screw are identical, but this 1, 2, 3, these 3 are identical as well, but they are different from this 4 screw here. So I'll just show you. So these 4 are identical, and these other 3 are different. So to compare, they are different. This one is long and this one is short. Okay, so you can remove now the backplate. So be careful removing the backplate, because there's also a wire from the backplate that drives this LED here that connects to the back of the PCB. So be careful. So I have to detach the connector. See? So at the back there's also a thermal pads, which is very thick one. It looks like a 3 millimeter. Okay, so that's all. So I'll show you the thickness of the thermal pads. So be careful with this bracket, because this one is just this silver bracket is the one who holds this black bracket here. Okay, to measure the thickness of the thermal pads, I'm going to use a digital vernier caliper. So if you're interested, just check in the description down below for the vernier caliper. This is powered by a battery. So this one here, so you have to insert the battery. If you're not using your caliper, after you use it, make sure to remove the battery, because that could damage easily any electronic tools or gadget. If the battery is removable, you have to remove it. It makes a big difference. It will make the lifespan of your gadget way longer. So this is the vernier caliper. To use it, just use the button on, off, and then you have to press the 0 before you start using it. Okay, and then just use this one like that. That's like a normal caliper. Okay, so to measure the thickness, so the thickness of the one in the VRAM, this is the VRAM, this area here is the VRAM. So this is only approximate, what I'm going to give you. So always remember, this thermal pads is stock from the factory. So it looks like a 1mm. Yes, it is one. The VRAM is 1mm. And this is for the VRMs. They looks the same thickness. By just looking at it, I can tell it's 1mm. They are exactly the same thickness. This area here, this one and this one, they are similar thickness, but it looks like they are a bit thicker compared to the 1mm. Yeah, I will try 1.5, but I think it's not 1.5, it's like below 1.5. Oh, it is 1.5. So this, the VRAM and this area here is 1mm, and this two, this strip here and this two, 1 and 2, they are 1.5mm. And then the one underneath the backplate is about, let me guess, this is gonna be about 3mm. So I'll put 3mm first on here on the caliper, or maybe 2.5. It is 3, so it is 3mm. So the one on the back plate, you don't need to replace them. The VRAM and this VRMs here on this side is similar thickness, which is 1mm, and this is different thickness. This one here and this one here are 1.5mm. Okay, so it's time to replace the thermal pads. By the way, I had game footage about this card before I changed the thermal pads. So I have the thermal record for that games, so that I could compare it before with the stock thermal pads and thermal paste, and I could compare it after I changed it with the thermal pads and thermal paste. And the brand that I'm going to use is, this is the brand I'm going to use, is the Gelid solution. So Gelid solution provide me this product. So I got different thickness. I got 0.5, I got 1mm, I got 1.5, I got 2.0, I got 3.0. And also they have also a very nice one, Heat Paces Ultra. This one is designed for the CPU, the processor. This is for the AMD, and this one is for the, but I haven't used this one yet. I'm going to replace my desktop with this so that I could compare it with the normal thermal paste and this one, which one is better. And the thermal paste I'm going to use is a Gelid GC4. This is their latest one, so this is a really good one, good quality. So the thermal pads is the Gelid GP Ultimate. This is a very good one. So by the way, this size, this one here, this is the 120 by 120, this one here. So it's quite, I think this is the largest one. I think it's more bigger than this, but this one is already more than enough. You can buy like 50 by 50. So what I'm going to do next is to clean up all the residue. So this is the size of the 120 by 120 millimeter. It's quite big. So this is the 1 millimeter thickness. So I'm going to cut this on the same size with this one. And this one is for the VRAM. And same size here. And that's the 1 millimeter. And this two here is different thickness, is 1.5. So I got 1.5 here. So I got 1.5 here. Oh, this one is perfect. So that goes there. Make sure I'm gonna put 1.5, otherwise gonna mix it. So put this one aside so that I could clean. Okay, so you have to scrape all these residue from the paste. By the way, this one is called a prying tools. This one or this one, they are called the prying tools. They have a different sizes and different forms, but they are still called the prying tools. They are designed for like opening laptops, opening electronics, small electronics, so that it could prevent to damage it and prevent scratches. If you have a plastic and this is a metal, but sometimes the metal one is very useful, especially if you open like a very thin laptop. You can use this one on the sides slowly to open it, but don't use this one to clean up all the residue because it could scratches. Look, it's metal. So I recommend just a plastic one. They are very cheap in Amazon or eBay. Just check the description on this video. All the links is in there. Could help me to make more videos if you use that link. So this one here, clean. Oh, it's already clean. And then also you have to use a brush. That's just like a normal paintbrush to clean this residue. The best for cleaning this residue is, my recommendation always, is 99.9% of isopropyl alcohol. Never ever use a 70% rubbing alcohol because that will not gonna dissipate quickly when it used for electronic. Always this 99.9%. The link, if you want to buy, in the description down below, because this is a very pure one, and if you use it in electronic, that will dissipate just few seconds after you rub it, become dry. So it's very safe. And it could melt all those thermal paste and thermal pads that is sticking on the metal. So it's very useful. So, and microfiber, use a microfiber. Just do like very tiny amount. And don't forget to clean as well the other side. The side of the is very important. This side here. So there are some residue sticking in here. There's a lot of residue of the thermal paste here. You have to clean that. And I'll show you what is the advantage using 99.9% of alcohol. After this one, I'll show you. Which is very common on the, especially on the GPU. I've done a lot of GPU already in the past, and it's very common. GPU over time, if you keep on using, especially if you use it like mostly every day, you play games every day, it could create like a moisture at the PCB. So like this one, this is a good example. This is a moisture, and that's where the isopropyl alcohol is very useful to remove that moisture. So make sure you clean it nicely, remove all the old residue so that the new thermal pads and thermal paste will work on its peak performance. It could transfer the heat. So I'll show you how fast it is to dissipate. So now it's wet with the alcohol, and just few seconds, look, you can see it. Less than 10 seconds, it's totally dry. That's the advantage of 99.9%. But before that, you have to, normally before I rub it with the alcohol, I brush it and blow it with the air blower and then rub with the alcohol. But there's not much dust in this one, so I can just do other way around. Brush it now just to remove some dust particles in this area. By the way, I'm on my way to the 10,000 subscriber. What I'm planning to do, when I reach that 10,000 subscriber, I'm planning to do like giveaways of the GPU that I've done on my videos. So it's very handy if you please help me to make this channel grow. If you can subscribe and watch my videos, all my videos that's coming out from start to finish, that could help me a lot. Especially if you like send me like what you call it, like stars or membership. I don't have a membership yet, but yeah, that's my plan. When I reach 10,000 subscriber, I'm planning to give away some of my GPU that I'm going to do. After I'm going to raffle it, who's going to be the lucky winner, and I'll give it away. So I need your help so that I could reach 10,000 subscriber. And please watch all my videos from start to finish. So now it's clean. And then for me, this is not enough brushing and alcohol. I'll show you the most important one. I'm going to recommend you to invest one of these. It's called Makita. It's a Makita Power Tools. This one is a brushless LXT. It's a brushless BL brushless LXT range. It's an 18 volts. So this is from Makita, and 18 volts LXT range. And this is the model of this. This is an air blower. It's very powerful one. And there are a few attachments. You can just check the description down below in this video, and there are a few attachments which is included. I think 5 different attachments that you can use for different scenario. You can use this one to blow like airbags, like different kind of stuff. But you cannot use this one to inflate your car tire or motorbike tire or bicycle. No, they have different tools, which is also Makita. I got one of those to inflate the tire of my car and my motorbike. So this one have 4 different modes. And it has a light as well. Oh wait, it has a light as well. So you can just press this one, mode 1, mode 1, 2, 3. It depends on the power that you want. So this one is very useful to blow, to clean the So the speed can be controlled by the trigger. If you press it too hard, that is the maximum speed, and also with the mode here, maximum number 4 mode. But if you want to to blow it slow, just press a little bit with the trigger. So you have to control the speed with the trigger. I have another recommendation. This one is even more powerful than that, but this is powered by AC wire. Look, you have to attach this one to the power outlet, but it's called X power. So this is even more powerful compared to the Makita. So this one has 2 power modes, 1 and 2, and this is very powerful. You could use this one to blow your vehicle after you wash it. It could dry them very quickly. So it also have few attachments included. So just check in the Amazon. I have few attachments. This one, I have this kind of attachment. I have these big ones. I even have few brushes. I think 2 brushes. I got 2 big brush, and there's a small, very tiny brush. So yeah, I recommend this one. I've used this one for a few years now, and till now performance never drops. So I've got 2 blower. The battery, I use this one if I really need to blow hard, and just here inside the house I could plug it in. But if I use it outside, I'll just use the one with the battery, the Makita. So PCB is totally dry and clean now. So I'll put this one aside. Next is to clean the heatsink. So first I'm going to use the brush to clean this one. And then after you brush it, you have to blow it with the air blower. And this one is the tricky one, is the fan. So first, make sure don't mix up the fans. So you have to remember the exact orientation and the location of the fan where you get from. So this one goes in the middle, so you have to clean it one by one. So first, use the brush. If you don't remove this front shroud and the fan from the heatsink, you cannot access this area here. You can just only clean here, but at the back, see, you can imagine it looks clean, but if you turn it upside down, look at the dust. That could affect the quality of the air, that could draws in and out. So you make sure you clean it. So this is the one on the middle. Right, so you do like this, and then clean the inside area. Just brush them. And then you blow it with the air blower. So with the fan blades, I'm gonna use a little bit of alcohol to make it even cleaner. So it's time to put it back together. So the first thing you're gonna do is the back plate and the PCB. So that's the first thing you're gonna do. So I don't need to replace this one. It's still very good condition. So this is just only at the back of the back plate anyway. So I have to attach. The first thing to do is you need to connect back the wire. This one here. This wire here goes there. So carefully attach that one. Wait, I'm gonna turn on my lights. So carefully, I could show you. And push it in with your fingernail. That's it. You don't need to push them too hard as long as it's already connected. So carefully. But before you put it back together, make sure everything is totally dry, especially the PCB side. This is dry, totally dry now. So, right. So you have to carefully align the 7 screw holes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So remember, the 7 screws are not identical. Only the 4 is identical and the other 3 is also identical. So I'm going to use the VH1. So first I'm gonna attach the 3. And by the way, if you can buy one of these as well, it's a tray, metal tray that is magnetic. There's a 3 magnet underneath, and if you have that very tiny screw is secured, it will attach here, like it magnetizes screws. Look, they're sticking together because the magnet at the back is so powerful. There's 3 magnets here at the back, as you can see it. So this is cheap. I will put it in the description below. So first screw, make sure the screw hole is aligned perfectly, because you don't want any problem with the thermal pads doesn't in contact with the heatsink. So make sure it's attached perfect. 1, and then you check, make sure it's flat. Okay, it's perfectly flat. By the way, the camera that I'm using, I've used it for a few years. It's a Lumix, Panasonic Lumix G9, the first generation. There's a G9 Mark II now. That is brilliant, but it's quite expensive. So I'm happy with the Mark 1. And the lens that I'm using is a really good one. It's 8 by 18 millimeter. It's a wide angle lens, and it's made by Leica. So that's why I can do like this, zoom in, zoom out. The distance of this one between the lens and this one is just very close, but you can see my tutorial, the GPU, clearly because it's a wide angle. It's 8 by 18 millimeter. So I'll put in the description down below if you are interested to buy one of these in Amazon. Yeah, and I've just updated just yesterday the latest firmware of the lens, 8 by 18 Leica. If you want to get the latest firmware, just visit the website of the Panasonic. Everything is in there. the firmware of the camera and the lens, either Leica or Lumix lens, you can find it there. So you can just download, and so easy to download. Use your SD card, take it off, put it in the computer, make sure it's formatted, and then when you download the firmware from the computer, make sure it goes straight directly to the SD card, and make sure the firmware itself, the file itself, is not inside the folder, because if it does, it cannot find it when you press the button of the camera to download, to update the firmware. It needs to be outside the folder, so that when you just press the play button of your camera after you inserted the SD card, if the firmware file is already in the SD card, just press one button and it could detect it. It can find it easier and so quick. So that's how to download the firmware of the lens and also the body of the camera. So back to the video. So now, and then when you screw in a screw, don't make it too tight, just snug fit. Make sure it's just fit enough, not over tighten it, it could damage it. So I've done 3, so I'll do the other 4. Make sure it's not right, because this one has a bracket. Check. By the way, this one, the manual screwdriver, is equivalent to VH1, so they are same size. So I recommend if you're gonna buy one of these as well, because there are some of parts of the GPU, not particularly on this GPU, but I've experienced in the past that there are some GPU which is very tricky that you cannot use this one. So you need a thin and long screwdriver like this, so that you can just some of the part of the GPU which is very deep and small hole. So this is where you can, very handy, especially on the fans, to remove the screw of the fans is very handy. So it's equivalent to VH1. VH1 and VH0 is the very common sizes of the screw bits. It's very rare that I didn't notice any flat screw, but majority are Phillips screw. And there are some hex screw, but very rare. There are some older GPU that use a hex screw. And now it's going through. Make sure it's totally flat. Okay, and now it's time for, so next what I'm gonna do first to make it easier, because the tricky one is to, when you attach the wire connector of the fan and for the LED, so that's gonna be tricky to prevent that to get damaged. Don't attach the PCB first, you have to do that at last. So what you're gonna do is to attach the fan, attach this. So make sure you do the right thing. Okay, so this one goes at the bottom of the GPU. So make sure it's not in particular. This one is, there's no arm for this wire that could hold the wire. So that goes like this, and make sure this LED connector, the red and the black, will goes at the top like that, and the 2 fans goes like that. Well, to make it easier, there's a lot of ways on how to put it back. It depends on if you're clever enough to do what is. It depends on whatever is convenient for you. So there's a few ways, because attaching this fan to this hole here to align it is a bit tricky. So you can do this one first, fans, like that. Attach the 3 screws in each fan, and then you do like this. You can do this, but we say, how can I attach that one? And there's like protruding mounting points here, mounting, like protruding mounting bracket here. So that could, you cannot fit that one in the fan. Oh, it doesn't go through. It does if you know on how to do it. What you're gonna do is to align it on the blades, fan blades, and then at the same time, while you push it down slowly, you have to rotate the blades so that it could free from this protruding plastic. So that's the trick on how to do that one. Or you can just attach the fan. You can attach the fan together here and then put it back, put it like that here. But there are a few ways. So what I'm gonna do now is to do this way. Maybe this is more easier. So don't forget, this one goes so make sure all the wire goes point down. So this is the tricky one. So it's very important that you're going to align these 3 mounting holes here perfectly aligned to these 3 holes here. Make sure it clicks, because if it doesn't, it could cause a vibration. See, and now it clicks. Perfect. Right. Oh, this one, oops, wrong. It needs to rotate it. It should be at the bottom. And now it clicks. The good thing about this way of how to install a fan, if you install this one first before the front shroud, you could easily see the mounting holes here, and you can screw in without any distraction. See now, wait, where are the, I'll just use this one to make it quicker. Oh, the magnet of this tray, metal tray, is so powerful. See, that's a good thing about this screwdriver. Check the mounting points is aligned perfectly. So the orientation of this should be like this. So that's perfect. So this wire goes there, and this one should be like that. So take time and be patient by doing this, okay? Because imagine the screw, the size of this screw is so tiny. If you lose them, and you're going to cry. Okay, so make sure it spins freely. It's very important to check them before you put it on. Make sure it doesn't catches in the screw. Make sure the screw is snug fit. So now this is very important. Alright, you can see it. So you have to press this one down so that it could lock in on the wire. It will not gonna lose the wire. So using a plier. Just press this one down. That's it. I like these features. Some GPU that I've done in the past, they just use a plastic instead of metal like this. Plastic, and then if you give them a little bit of force, it breaks. This one, oh, this one goes here. Make sure you have to press it down. It's not hard to press it down, it's like, it's easy. But don't press it too hard, because it could damage the wire as well. So that is perfect. Yeah. And make sure, and this one you can just even press it with your finger. Look. Yeah. And now, right, trial. This is a trial. So what I recommend is install, attach this whole piece with in the PCB without the front shroud yet, because if you do, you will struggle to attach this 4 wire, 4 here, 2 here, and 2 there, and for the LED. So make it easier to give them enough room to work with. So you have to attach this one without the front shroud. It's way easier. Am I right? But first, don't forget the thermal pads and the paste. So before you do that, you have to brush again. Make sure it's clean. No more alcohol, because it's already dry, so you don't need to blow them or blow again. So just a brush, make sure it's totally dry, no dust. Right, what I'm gonna do is to use a thin tweezer. Oh, this one. I got a few tweezers here. Look, I got 3. I think I've got 7 different sizes and different shapes. So I'm gonna use the very thin one. I used to have a very pointy, I can find it, tweezer. Yeah, I can find it, the black one. I can find it. I think I lost it. Well, I can still use this one anyway. So what we're gonna do first is to, so don't forget, this one is 1mm VRAM. Oh. See, this is how it goes for the fan connector here and the small one here. So what I recommend is put the thermal pads directly to the chips instead of putting here, because by doing this, put it here, you can be assured that it's in contact properly. You're not gonna miss all the chips. So, and don't forget, they are not the same thickness. The 1.5 is here, and this one, and this, the VRMs, this one are 1mm, and the VRAMs. So VRMs, this one and the VRAMs are the same, 1mm and 1.5. This one, this what you call it, like MOSFET. Yeah, 1mm first. I will not, anyway. So make sure you peel the plastic, because if you forgot one of the plastic in one of each side, a new thermal pads normally have a plastic coating both sides. If you forgot one of the plastic to take it off, to remove one of the sides, disaster. You know why? Because it doesn't transfer the heat because of the plastic. So the plastic is only like a protector. So you have to remove first the other, and so this is the 1mm. This one should go down here. This is the 1mm. This is the 1mm, and this is the 1.5 there. The VRMs is 1.5. Oh, it's a bit short, so I have to fill it in. Right, I'll just hang it. This one is quite big. I don't want to cut it, I don't want to waste it, so like that. This is a 1.5. And then the long one here. Make sure it's in good contact. Press that one down. And then the VRAM. Right. Okay, so this is the GC4. If you don't want to use a G-lid, I have also a different brand recommendation just in case, but this one is a really good quality one. And also there's another one that I'm going to recommend, is just in case if you can't find this kind of brand, the G-lid. There's NTH2 thermal paste or the Arctic MX6. They are really good. The advantage of you spread it yourself like this is you can make sure that the thermal paste is spread evenly throughout the die area of the GPU, because mostly of the tutorial videos that I see in the YouTube, they just put like a drop in the middle and then press the thing is the disadvantage of those technique is if you made a mistake that when you press it down, it's not pressed evenly with the four corner. So the thermal paste will just go through just one side and make a mess on the other side, and the other side is empty or something like that. It's not perfect. It's not guaranteed, but this technique is 90% that you have a thermal paste on the die area. So you have to spread it manually. Yeah, you need to be patient by doing this. Okay, don't forget to take off the plastic top coating of this one, otherwise it's gonna be disaster. It's gonna be disaster that when you play games, you will be surprised that your newly installed thermal paste GPU and thermal pads is thermal throttling. So to make sure it will transfer the heat, make sure to take this off. It's very satisfying to peel this plastic bit. I'm gonna install this connector first. Make sure you connect it properly in the right orientation. So I'll connect the red one first. And then the black one. That is the tricky one. If you install this front shroud on here first with the fan, that is difficult to put these two connector. So that's based on my experience. So now you install the two fan connector, or you can just install that one later. Make sure it's very, very important that this is the most important one. This 4 connector will be aligned in these 4 holes here perfectly, so that you can have a good contact with the GPU die and the heatsink. It should be flat perfectly. So that's what you're gonna do. You need to be patient. Right, I'll do like this and check all the holes. Ooh, it's perfect, look. It's perfect. But, so you need to be patient with this and be careful, because you already connect the wire of the, and make sure you're not gonna press it too hard, because the fan is underneath of this heavy heatsink, so you're not gonna damage that. Before you do that, you're gonna put this one first. This is the very first one to attach. I'll do this screwdriver, manual screwdriver. Right, by attaching this very important 4 screw for the GPU, by the rule of thumb, you need to screw it in criss-cross pattern. Don't screw it and tight, just one screw and then neck. Your goal is to make sure the GPU die and the heatsink will be slowly pushed down evenly, gradually. So you have to do it slowly, gradual tightening of the screw. So one turn, so you have to feel that it bites. Okay. To gradually turn one each. One turn, and then criss-cross pattern, one turn, until, so I have to do this 1, 2, 3, 4 until it fully tighten. Okay, that's it. Next, so remember this 1, 2, 3, 4 are identical screw, and this 2 is different. So okay, that's the identical screw, and the other 2 is different screw. So this goes to here at this end. Okay, check. So what you're gonna do next is to attach the 2 fan connector. I can show you. You can just, you can just make sure the white goes into white, obviously. So you can just use your finger to do this. Make sure the wire is not damaged. See, it's easy on this side. It's a bit tricky on the other side because the connector is inside the, it's not at the edge of the PCB. This one, oh, this is a tricky one because of this. I'll use the tweezer. then push it in. Perfect. And now this is the interesting part. So you might say, how can I put it back? Because there's a mounting protruding plastic on here. It will not gonna go through with the fan blades. It will. What you're gonna do is, there's a trick. You have to put this mounting points here in between the blades, and then do like that slowly. Oh, it goes through now. So you do the other one. Oh, it goes through now. And the last one, this is the chicken. Yay! And now it's perfect. So put the last 6 screw. So 2, 2, 2. So what we're gonna do is use this one to make it easier. Make sure the mounting points is in line properly. Make sure you screwed in the screw totally flat. We're not gonna protrude, otherwise it could cause a problem when it hits in the blade. So that one goes there, the second one goes there. And then check. Perfect. Check the middle one. Perfect. So the last screw, the last but not the least. Spin. So before you end, make sure to check everything. Make sure you put it back all the screws, you connect all the connector. So you have to check it one by one as far as you could see. If you can see this one here, all the screw is connected. It's very important, the connector. So that's the end of the tutorial. If you think this video is helpful, please don't forget to subscribe and share this video so it can help other people too. Thank you for watching.